Hi, you should do cardio. No, it's not negotiable. It doesn't matter what you do, how old you are, or anything like that. If you want to make sure that the main thing keeping you alive right now, your cardiovascular system, keeps working, you'll listen to me. I'm going to do all the hard work for you and analyze all the best ways to do cardio out there. Then I'll rank them in a best overall list. There are some rare ones in here that even you cardio heads may have not thought of before, so you'll want to stick around. So let's get into it. I'm going to rank these based on a few criteria. The first is physical accessibility. How easy is it for anyone to get off their couch and do this, taking into account age, fitness level, disability, and any other potential physical barriers? Similarly, I'll be thinking about practical accessibility. What practical barriers like monetary expense, special equipment, weather, or travel stand in the way? I'll also score based on the fun factor, or how enjoyable I think the exercise is, though that is pretty subjective. Finally, I'll add any bonus benefits an exercise might have. So with all that in mind, let's rank these exercises. In first place, what I think is clearly the best all-around pick is cycling. It scores nearly top marks in physical accessibility because it's low impact and can be done at pretty much any intensity level. There's literally a 90-year-old lady I see riding her bike up and down the hill outside my house, so if she can do it, you can do it. Shout out Linda. There definitely will be some disabilities and conditions that prevent some people from biking, but a lot less than other exercises. And practically speaking, you do have to have a bike, but you don't need anything fancy. When I first started cycling for exercise during the pandemic, I used my cheap mountain bike from when I was 14 years old, and it worked great. And the bike I have now, I got for $75 off Craigslist. Now, if you do want to ride outside, the weather does have to cooperate, but depending on where you live and the season, it's usually okay. But one of the best things cycling has going for it is that it's so fun. It's a great opportunity to get out in nature or in your local community. Also a good time just to have a quiet moment alone to think, or maybe jam out to music, or get caught up on that podcast or audiobook you've been meaning to get to. If you ride with a buddy or a group, it can become an adventure or just a fun activity for friends. And the bonus cycling offers is that it's actually a great mode of transportation. You can easily get to places within a few miles or even a few dozen miles of your house while also getting a nice little workout in. You can bike to work, to grab a quick meal, or to run errands. Cycling is the best. Now on to the next. In second place, we have walking. Walking offers a lot of the same perks as cycling. It's pretty physically accessible since most people can walk, but it does put more stress on your joints. But unlike cycling, walking requires almost no equipment whatsoever, and it can be done almost anywhere, anytime, so that makes it a bit more practically accessible. And it's pretty fun because it can also let you get out into nature and the community. And you can go solo or make it more enjoyable by adding friends and family. Nothing beats a nice walk and a chat. I would say it's a bit less fun than cycling just because it's slower and more mundane, but it's still super fun. It does lack the bonus of being a very effective method of transportation, but its slow pace does make it very relaxing and stress relieving, and you still can get around to some degree. In third place is one of my personal favorites and one you might not expect. Dancing. And I'm not just talking about dance classes here, though those are great. Dancing is something you can do anywhere, at any time, in almost any way, with or without music, though music makes a big difference. I'm a professionally trained dancer, and most of the dancing I do for exercise is on my own time, listening to my own music, just dancing for fun. Physically, dance is about as accessible as it gets. You can dance big or small, fast or slow, or even in a chair or laying down. Now, in terms of practicality, it really depends on the person. If you're like me, you can dance pretty much anywhere, but even I have to be in the right mood. And a lot of people just won't feel comfortable dancing by themselves without at least going to a class to begin with, which can be expensive and time-consuming. But dancing is arguably one of the most fun things you can do if you let go of your self-consciousness. Dancing also has an incredible social aspect as a bonus. Dancing in group settings, especially classes, partner dancing, and social dancing, is amazing for your mental health, and I really encourage you to try it if you haven't already. Fourth on the list is running. Running shares the practicality of walking in that you need almost no equipment except maybe some type of running shoe. However, running is a lot more physically demanding on the body than any of the other options on our list so far, so it's not suitable for everyone. I find that running can really impact my joints negatively, so I don't do it very much. However, like walking and cycling, it's fun because it allows you to get out of the house and see the world, and you can do it with friends or use it as valuable alone time. In fifth place is something a lot of us were doing during the pandemic when gyms were closed. Follow along workout videos at home. This type of workout can be very physically accessible because you can select videos that are appropriate for your fitness level and modify them to your body. They are also extremely practically accessible because there are tons of free videos accessible at any time of day, and they can even be portable by bringing your phone with you on the go. They can also be really fun with engaging hosts, upbeat music, and good vibes. So with such high marks in every category, why isn't this one further up on the list? Well, in my opinion, it loses out to the others, mostly in the fun and bonuses categories. It doesn't really get you out into the world because even though you can work out outside, your focus is going to be on the video and not on your surroundings. Even if you grab a family member or roommate to do the video with you now and then, it doesn't really allow for much talking, and it's not something both of you have signed up for to come back to regularly. And while it can be pretty enjoyable, doing the same exact workouts over and over can get a bit boring, and continuously finding new videos that work for your exact goals and skill level can be tough. So for that reason, it's no longer my go-to. But one thing I actually do use videos for is HIIT, a type of cardio that can literally make you live longer. So if you're interested in that, check out my video on the science of cardio, including HIIT, linked above and in the description. In sixth place, we have swimming, which is a lovely way to do cardio. It's extremely physically accessible because it's low impact, and you can easily add flotation devices to adjust the difficulty. Practically, it's another story though. You'll have to pay for and drive to a gym with a pool, or invest the large amount of time and money necessary to own and maintain your own pool. But it is pretty fun, especially when you can swim outside or play pool games with a friend. A nice little bonus for this one is that it can also help train your breathing. Moving on to seventh place, we have group fitness classes. These can be physically accessible because you can choose classes that are geared toward your fitness level. However, practically speaking, the right classes aren't always offered near you or at a price you can afford. Driving to a specific class at a specific time can also be inconvenient. But the big bonus for this one is the fun. Most classes are designed to be as entertaining as possible to keep you coming, and the social atmosphere helps a lot with that. You can go with friends or make new friends in your class and connect with your instructor. Finally, in last place, we have one of my least favorite ways to do cardio, despite it being one of the most popular: cardio machines. Physically, these can be pretty accessible because you can choose the machine suited for you, and many of them are very low impact. However, they're not very practical because you have to either pay for a gym or pay for your own expensive machine. But for me, where these really suffer the most is the fun factor. Doing a repetitive exercise inside, especially in a noisy, crowded gym, is not ideal for me. It really makes exercise feel like a chore. Yes, you can do your best to jam out to your music or distract yourself with a podcast, but that to me just highlights how unpleasant the experience is. Running on a treadmill, cycling on a stationary bike, or walking on a Stairmaster are nothing like how it is to do those activities in real life. All the unpredictability of scenery, terrain, pace, and environment is replaced by the same steps over and over. It just makes me so sad. Now, I understand that not everyone lives in a climate where they can exercise outside. But even if I could never exercise outside, I probably still wouldn't do it on a machine. There are indoor variations of most of the exercises I've mentioned above, so if you're like me and you need more stimulation than a machine can provide, give them a try. Okay, so that's the list. There are definitely a lot of more niche exercises I probably missed, like jump roping, sports, games, all kinds of stuff like that. This is just my personal list of cardio that I've tried. Leave your favorite way to give your heart a workout in the comments below, and I'll let you know if you're right or wrong for liking it. May the gains be with y'all, and remember that you're really cool. Bye!